in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. Welcome to another exciting episode of Pmbc Littleton 01460. It's Wednesday, August 25th, 2021. We will start the meeting with the call to order, and we will review the warrant, which I will bring up here in a moment. If I can find that. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay, so we have 4 items on the warrant tonight. I'm going to enlarge this so I can see it a little bit better. First item is Fitzmyer and Tachi, I think it is. They're the testing agency for the library. $522.50 for the month of July. Next item is Vertex Company for the library, month of July, $33,240 even. The next item is Vertex Company for the police station, July invoice $15,318. And the last item is Vertex Company. It's an older invoice for May, $3,345 for a total of $52,425.50.
Just a quick correction, Steve. The Fitzmyer Tachi is the commissioning agent for the library, just in case anyone was knowing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yep. Thank you.
And the last Vertex is actually for the police station, right?
Police station. Did I? Yeah. The last 2 are for the police station. The first 2 are for the library.
Make a motion that we accept the budget. The warrant is $52,425.50.
Moved by Bob Romley. Second.
I'll second.
Oh, sorry.
Second by Tamlin. All in favor? Roll call vote.
Bob Romley, yes.
Emily Rossius, yes.
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Okay, Richard Crowley, yes. Steve Moore, yes. Motion passes. Thanks very much.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah,
might make it easier if you just call the names out and we can do it that
Yeah.
way,
we could do that.
so we're not tripping over each other.
Let me pull up the agenda again here. So can you see the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. So we have the minutes of August 11th as amended. Any comments on that? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Bartlett Harvey makes the motion. Is there a second?
I can second.
Tamlin seconds. Roll call vote. Tamlin?
Emily Rossius, yes.
Brian?
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Bartlett?
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
Rich?
Richard Crowley, yes.
And Steve, yes. Okay, motion passes. Library update. Brian, you want to take us on a update?
Sure. Thank you for having me. We're starting to really wind down here at the library. We're doing some substantial completion activities at this point. I've engaged with the town's insurance policy about how we're going to be switching over from the contractor's policy to the town's. So we'll be providing them the punch list from both the architect and the engineer of record, as well as the certificate of substantial completion. So those are being generated this week. The engineer was on site yesterday, so they're generating their punch list right now, and Commodore will be working on that. There's been some owner changes that we're doing right now that the building's constructed. There's been some tweaks that we need to do, including some of the signage on the front of the building, as well as the finished floor that we have in both the lobbies and the stairs. We've engaged with the painter who did the original ceiling, and we're finding out full scope and when that can be completed and coordinating that with furniture deliveries. Speaking of furniture deliveries, we did have a delay. I think I've brought that up before with some of our 18 gauge metal shelving, which is owner supplied. We've been in talks with them constantly trying to get updated delivery dates. As of now, they're committing to the end of September. So the 24th, we currently have a date for when they will be on site, and we'll be coordinating them with the moving company in order to have as much minimal downtime to operations and Sam's operations as we can. Tomorrow, on Friday morning, there'll be a walkthrough with Ed Mullen as well as the Diane for ADA compliance. So that will generate any type of town punch list that they seem anything that's out of code from a ADA or MAAB. And then we have some final work that's being scheduled to be completed out in Shattuck Street to do the ramps on the sidewalks. That's scheduled for the week.
I have no audio on this one, so I'm listening to it. So can you keep the phone on?
Oh, sure. Okay.
All set, Rich?
Yeah, he's listening through the phone here.
Sure. Okay. So ultimately, we're winding down at this point. We will have some deliveries of furniture following substantial completion, which will probably be end of next week. And ultimately, we'll be hopefully be done, and we'll have a couple week lead time or lag time before we start doing our moving with Sam and all of his inventory. There was one item that I did send to Steve this week regarding a credit change order that Commodore was proposing. There was a question from Brian this morning that I think we answered, but I did want to ask the Pmbc their recommendations on this. My recommendation was to accept the credit change order and proceed with the original guaranteed maximum price. And in so doing that, I'd be able to reconcile where we sit with the budget with the trustees, determine where the overall owner's contingency sits as we wind down our final activities here.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Brian. I know there's a lot of work with you and Commodore on that. I know Brian Pasquale had a question today. I think did Brian Fors answer that for you?
Yeah, I'm good with that. My main question, I guess, and point is, I'll take Brian's recommendation is that if we're going this route with Commodore, that just to make sure that we feel we've gotten, they mentioned in their narrative that they did some owner change scope within their, they covered some owner change scope, and I just wanted to make sure that basically we feel that's a fair wash.
Right.
And based upon what I have to, and I can show you other documents that I have, I'm more than satisfied than what they're proposing at this point. And what they do put in their narrative is correct in saying that they have performed some owner tweaks and not adjusted their schedule throughout the entire construction, which is good.
So, Rich, do you have any comments? I guess not. Anyone else?
Quick question for you, Brian. How are we making out with completion down in 111 or 112?
Good. Currently, right now, we have Access AV slated for the end of the first week of September. And the one thing that I need to coordinate is the light fixtures. They hit a speed bump, and those are scheduled to be delivered on the 13th of September.
Okay, that's what I was thinking that AJ had made a comment about that one.
Yep. I think, Kirby, you and I should have a date down there pretty soon just to take a look at what they've done. And as Griffin's kind of working their way out the building, if there's any punch that we need to do in those two rooms.
Thank you, kind sir. I appreciate that very much.
Okay, so I think what we need to do is, if there are no more questions on the global settlement with Commodore, we need to have a motion and a second and a vote.
I make a motion that we approve it as written.
Bob Rumley makes the motion. Thank you.
Bartlett Harvey will second the motion.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Bob,
Yes, Bob Rumley.
Temlin,
Timlin Rossius, yes.
Bartlett,
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
Brian,
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Rich Crowley,
And Rich Crowley is a yes as well.
and Steve Moore, yes. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Anything else on the library, Brian?
No, ultimately, we'll be working with Sam, and hopefully by the next meeting, I feel more confident about the delivery of the owner-supplied shelving, and we can talk about grand opening.
Sounds good. Thank you. Moving on to the police station.
Yeah, police station, we had some advancements today in the project today. We had a phone call with Steve, myself, Arno from CBI, as well as the project manager from the waterproofing company. And this was based upon our previous meeting, and I think Rich brought this up, is if we didn't think we were going to get the windows in a reasonable time, then we should start exploring canceling the order of those windows. I did find out since the previous meeting that the windows had been finally released, and they told us 12 to 16 weeks, which just isn't acceptable from a town's perspective. That puts us into December. So when speaking with the project manager, we told them that we will be proceeding with canceling the order, and the waterproofing company will need to finish their scope with interior trim, cleaning, and the perimeter of the roof cap, which is scheduled for next week. So in 2 weeks, myself and Arno from CBI will be doing a punch list up on the roof, as well as all of the masonry work. And the waterproofing company is going to provide me with a schedule on when they're going to do the interior trim of all of the windows, which will coordinate with any of Chief's activities to make sure they're not interrupting any of his operations. So,
as well as a time extension to the contract.
yeah, correct. So to make sure that they can fit in this cleaning and trim work, he's going to provide us their end date of their contract at this point, and we will administratively take care of that so that they're not out of contract.
Right.
I do, Steve. So at this point, I believe at our next meeting, I'd be satisfied with the requisitions that have been sent to me from the waterproofing company. I'll review those again and put those on. If I'm comfortable, put them on for the warrant.
Okay, thanks. Anything else for the police station?
Yes, quickly, Brian, when do you think is a best guess estimate that we can get into that community room and start using it, given all the gear and the lack of rooms I have up in the town hall? So,
yeah. And what was the question, Kirby? I'm sorry.
We've been kind of dancing around as far as a date when I can actually get into that community room and really start using it. So I'm looking for your best guess estimate, kind sir.
So my guess would be is that the waterproofing company is going to provide us a schedule and take measurements, and I can instruct them to do that room first. So my guess would be within a month that would be completed.
Thank you. That's very good news. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Brian, what are they going to use for trim?
It's oak.
It's an oak product that they need to provide a sample on that we're going to approve first before they bring it in.
Yeah. Okay. Rich, anything on the Houghton building? Hello, Rich. Can you hear us?
Yes, yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
The Houghton building.
Alton Building, we're down to 2 contractors. I put out to request a pricing for 3 contractors. One had been stringing me along, so I'm just going to drop them off now, and we're going to deal with just 2, with the two different approaches. Haven't completely descoped them yet. I'll have that answer for your next meeting, but we're moving ahead with it.
Okay, thanks, Rich.
The final number should be somewhere in the low 20s, I think.
Terrific. Thank you.
Rich, I have another contractor if you're interested in a name.
What's that?
I said, I have another contractor if you're interested in a name.
Well, I went out to 3, and for the amount of the contract, we don't really need more than that. One is in the high teens, one's low 20s. So we could try pricing another one if you want.
Now, if you're all set with what you got, we'll let it go then.
Yeah, I think we get we request 3 prices, and if we only get 2, then
We can
we
work with it.
work with those 2. And both of these contractors currently do business with the town, so they're known entities and they're good contractors. So
Hey, what, Bob? If you know, if you want, you can give me the name of the guy, and I can see if I can get him over, and if he can do something fairly quick, then maybe we can at least have a third member.
Yeah,
All right. So see if you can get me the guy's name through Steve.
yeah, I can do that.
All right.
okay, thanks, Bob. Member input, Bob,
I'm all set.
Bartlett,
I'm all set, thanks.
how did the move go?
Well, I moved out of my house, but I haven't moved in yet. I'm still couch surfing.
Okay.
I'll give you an update next meeting.
Okay. Brian?
I'm all set, Steve. Thank you.
So Tamlin, I know you have some items to bring up.
Yep. So I was talking with Steve Mark today. The doors that they did at Russell Street, they're about done with them. So we're going to be seeing a $20,000 to $25,000 invoice coming through, which was already approved by us. So that'll be coming through soon. They have I think 2 doors that they still have to finish, but they're waiting for something on them. And then
Well, I know that they need to get a building permit, which they haven't done yet. So they have to coordinate that with Ed Mullen.
okay.
Well, Steve's aware of that. Steve's aware of that now.
Okay. Yeah, I told Steve that I would email him after, so I'll put that down. And then the high school roof, that the capital fund, it was about 800,000. He said that it came up on the agenda, might have been right before I started on this last year.
This was approved by town meeting in June of this year. And, for us to get a design, this is not a PMBC project. So,
he says it is.
Well, not to my
Said that
knowledge.
this was a capital funded project and it was through PMBC.
Well,
So
not to my knowledge, but anyway, in order for us to have gotten a design consultant on board, put together a design package, put it out for bid, and get design, bid packages back, we would have been into August, this time this year. So
right. He's saying that it needs to start. We need to start on it so that it could start July, so it can be done over the summer of next year.
exactly. But
Right.
do we need to, I need to see the scope of work. I need to know if it's only a partial and
It is. It's over the administration side.
Yeah. And I was talking to Ed Mullen about this yesterday.
Okay.
And, is it advisable for us to go to fall town meeting and get more funding to do the entire roof? Or
I'm not sure.
because I don't know what the requirements are or what the problem is with the roof. And what we really need is a facilities manager for the town to coordinate all this stuff. So this is a little bit outside of this, the purview of PMBC, but we have had a facilities manager approved and funded for years, and we have not hired one. And there's a disconnect between different departments in the PMBC because we don't have this facilities manager. And I think we need to elevate that to the town manager.
Steve, didn't we use somebody from Vertex on the highway department's roof, or was that another company that we used?
The highway department roof was managed by the highway department, but I think it was our funding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was kind of screwy, kind of like the high school parking lot was kind of a combination of highway department and PMBC. But it was, I think we need to have like a central clearinghouse in the town for, you know, this kind of stuff, and the facilities manager would be that individual.
Okay. So what would you like me to tell Steve? Do you want him to reach out to Ed?
I think
Or
Steve Mark is, quite frankly, the blockade between us and the town getting a facilities manager. And he has to figure out, you know, if he's going to be trying to do all the work for the school department, or does he need some help from the town? So I'd be more than willing to have a conversation with Steve.
okay,
But there's a total disconnect here.
right.
And there's a problem, and we have to figure out how to resolve it.
Then maybe we should set a meeting up where we invite Steve and Ed and the town manager in
Or
about
maybe-
this, so that, because I know that there's the roof. I mean, I was just in the high school today, and the roof, that it's leaking, and they've got, like, it could have used to be done last year, probably. But, and I know that he mentioned something about the unit on the roof over the library is nearing its lifespan.
Okay, so why isn't he coming and talking to us about that?
He asked me to. As a school committee rep here,
Okay.
because I was at another meeting.
Yeah,
Today.
but you know, we needed a facilities manager for the town that understands all the ramifications and the, you know, the what you know, it's like preventive maintenance.
Right.
We
So
need.
can I suggest that we put on for the next meeting, like have invite Steve and Ed Mullen and the town manager and discuss this, so that if the building needs to be done, if this stuff needs to be done, we can get started. Whomever has to get started with it, we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. And then maybe we go before the school committee and, you know, say we need a facilities manager, and, you know, you need to support us.
Okay.
So if you want to set that up for the next meeting, or if you want me to set it up for the next meeting, I'd be glad to do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you can send an email out, I mean, I can send an email out just as easy if you need me to.
Probably, since Steve asked you to bring the subject up, why don't you send it out and copy everyone?
Okay.
Okay, that'd be great. Thanks.
And so we'll put him on for the next meeting, what's the date of the next meeting? So I can put that in
September
the
8th.
email?
September 8th.
September 8th. All right, so it'll be the town manager, which is Anthony
Anthony, yeah.
and Saldi, Ed Mullen, Steve Mark. Should I invite the school committee to come, or should?
You know, that's up to you.
I mean, all right, well, I'll start with them, and then I'll let them know that we're going to be discussing it if they want to tune in. the
Sounds
school.
good.
Okay, I will let Steve know and the rest of them.
Great.
That's all I have.
Thanks very much. And
Thank you.
my member input is always looking for somebody to take over as chairman. If anyone's interested, please let me know. Otherwise, I guess I'm stuck with it.
You do such a great job, Steve.
Oh, Jesus Christ, give it a break. Anyway, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second,
All in favor?
Bob Rama, yes.
Timberland
Bartlett,
Rasmus,
yes.
yes?
Richard Crowley, yes.
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Bartlett, yes. Okay.
Steve Moore, yes. Unanimous. Thanks very much for your participation. See you at the next meeting.
Okay. Good night.
Thanks.
All right, good
Night,
night
all.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you.